Welcome to the Ordinary Guy Garage. I'm Scott, Ordinary Guy, and today we're gonna go over my trucks and introduce a couple of trucks that you haven't seen before. So hang tight and we'll get started. All right, well, we all know what's going on with this truck. This is the S10, and we are waiting on the engine to come back, the block to come back from the machine shop. So it's sitting in this state right here. So we got some video coming up on this as soon as the engine gets back, and we will have fun with that. Then of course, my pride and joy, my 66 short bed, C10, I guess. It's actually a camper special, long bed, 3/4 ton, but don't tell anybody. And this is my daily driver. So between this and the Ford, I drive the two. When it's too hot, I'm a sissy. I go for air conditioning. But yeah, it's just sitting, waiting for me to drive it, probably today. And the El Camino. Some guys are adamant that they're trucks. I call it a car. To me, it's a car that happens to have a bed on it. So I'm not looking for arguments, but this is what I call it. It's my car, but it kind of fits into the category of trucks. So there's that. Alrighty, and then there's Lucky. Lucky is my 89 Kenworth W900 dump truck. This is what I use to make my money and not make my money. She's a money pit and a money maker all at the same time. She's a good old truck. Good old girl. 1989, I think I already said that. Got a 3406B cap motor in it, which is the old reliable of the cap motors. You can find these, you know, they're kind of phasing them out a bit because they're a mechanical fuel injection, but man, these are the workhorse. So, and of course, she's number 13. She's not Lucky 13. Her name is Lucky, and she happens to be truck number 13. My last truck was truck 12, so she became 13. So I'll post a couple pictures real quick of my other trucks. All right, first truck I'm going to show right here is the one that I started driving dump truck in. She has a special place in my heart. Her name is Sunshine. I did a lot of work on this truck. She was an ugly duck when I started working with her. In fact, everybody on the crew called her Dumpy. And she, you know, I got her, you know, the boss decided to give her a paint job, and I did a ton of work on this truck. Did some fabrication on it, redid the interior. I mean, I did so much work on this, and she became special to me, and her name is Sunshine. Currently, they still have that truck, and she is not treated like she should be. But she's a dump truck, and some people see it that way. So, Sunshine, here she is. All right, so next truck up here is my first dump truck that I owned. It is a 91 Freightliner, affectionately known to me as Patches. And when you see that's her name, Patches. And when you see the picture of it, you'll know why her name's Patches. But this truck belonged to a friend of mine, and we made a good deal on it, or he made me a good deal on it. And by getting this truck, I was able to get my dump truck business going a few years ago. And so this truck was a pretty good truck, but it had a lot of issues. So I got going on it. I ran it for about 2 years, and then I bought Lucky, and then I sold Patches, and so here she is. All right, for those not familiar with inside of a semi truck, this is kind of a basic one. I don't have a lot of gauges in here, but it works really good for what I do. Of course, I have the battery gauge, water temperature gauge. I have the turbo boost gauge, and this will go up to about 30 pounds when I'm pulling a load. This truck is truck and trailer. I can carry 105.5 thousand pounds. So it's a heavy haul truck. And then I have the oil pressure. Of course, tachometer, pyrometer, which will give me the temperature of my intake charge, which is really important because you want to keep an eye on how you're running your engine. You don't want to overrun it and run it up too high. And also, if it if it starts running high, you'll know you have problems. Usually your turbo or something is bad, something to look into. You have your speedometer, of course, my air pressure gauge, which will tells me how much air pressure is in my air tank for the truck. It's got several air tanks under it. And then this one here is applied with the brakes. It'll tell you. And you can hear the noise right there that it's making. That's why I'm going to be working on it today. Fuel gauge and the transmission temp gauge that isn't connected. Then I have my other gauges. These are my headlights, running lights, and cab lights. Air tank heat, which will keep my tank from freezing up in the wintertime. There's a tank for the air. What this does is there's an air filter on it that takes the water out of the air as it's compressed, and collects the water, and this will keep it warm so that way it doesn't freeze up. My Jake brake, I have full and half. I always have it on full. Sometimes I'll put it on half, but the Jake brake on a 3406 is kind of a weak Jake, so these are a couple of spares. Let's see, that's a fifth wheel lock, but I don't have a fifth wheel on anymore. That's currently hooked up to my air horns. This is a differential lock for my second differential, so when I'm getting into a spot where I need a little bit more traction, I can flip that. This is for my drop axle. Need a drop axle if you're a heavy haul, otherwise you can't be a heavy haul. Up here, got my CB radio, my Cobra. Got a Kenwood, I think that's Kenwood, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's Kenwood. Yep, Kenwood. It's hard for me to see it because it sits up there in the light and stuff. It's hard to see. Bluetooth, got a 100-watt amp in here and all that. Nothing crazy. Sounds good. I could hear it when I'm driving, so that works out good. My brakes for my parking brakes, for my yellow ones for the truck, red ones for the trailer. This here is my dump lever for my bed, for my dump bed on my truck. This is for a dump bed on a trailer when I have it hooked up. This is my PTO, which when I turn that on, runs all my hydraulics. And then my different switches here. This is a tailgate latch for the truck and for the high lift gate. And then this here is a tongue slide for the pup trailer, which is the dump trailer. I can pull this out and the tongue will extend so I can carry all the weight I need. It also doubles as a mud flap lift. You want to be careful because in using the pup trailer or even just the truck by itself, backing up to a pile of dirt, you could rip the mud flaps off, so you want to pull them up out of the way. This is a tailgate latch for the pup trailer, the dump trailer, and this is a high lift gate for that one. So other than that, that's about it. It's a real basic truck in here. I try to keep it as clean as I can, but it is a dump truck. You know, I try to stay neat, try to stay organized. Got I do a lot of knife river hauling. Well, not this year, but I keep all my papers and stuff that I have to have. I try to keep it all neat in here. This here is my daily log I have to fill out to, you know, pre-trip inspection. I don't have a log book like a long haul trucker. I only have a daily inspection. And of course, if I happen to be sitting, you know, and I don't have cell service, I can always, you know, look at what I'm going to buy. So got my mask just in case I got to go in somewhere. And that's about it. That's about it to the inside. All right, well, Lucky's a little bit dirty right now. She's going to get a bath this weekend and cleaned up. I got a bunch of work coming up this week. You can see the straight pipes. They don't have a muffler. Usually they have a muffler on the outside. I didn't do that. It came that way, and to be perfectly honest, I'd rather have mufflers on it, and someday I'll probably do that. But as all things I have, it's a bit of a project, so I'll get there piece by piece. Now right here, that's the tag axle I was talking about. Now that axle goes up when I don't have a load, but when I put a load on, I flip the switch, that comes down. That axle right there can support, according to ODOT, up to 11,000 pounds. So I can carry 34,000 on those, plus another 11 on that. And then the front is like 13.2 or something like that. But the truck basically, I can haul 56,000 pounds in this truck. So that math doesn't add up, but it's what the truck can carry. Now this fender got some rust. This is an upcoming project. I'm gonna cut this out and replace that section right there. The truck needs a paint job, but you know, whatever, it's a dump truck. And then back over here, mud flaps and blah, blah, blah. This truck is also a transfer truck. So if you don't know what a transfer truck is, I have two trailers for this. I have the pup trailer, which is the dump trailer, and the transfer trailer, which has a tub that rides on basically rails on the trailer. So whenever you go to dump, you drop your trailer off, you go dump the truck, you come back, and you back up to the trailer, which has the rails and pins that'll line it up in here, in these two holes. This tailgate has to be up when you do that. And then you connect the hydraulics, which are on the side over here. A couple quick connectors. You connect the hydraulics that come from the trailer, which would be over here. And you run the tub from the trailer into the truck, latch it down, and then go dump that. Now, the advantage of that is you can fit into tight spots. The advantage of the pup trailer is it hauls the same amount, actually about 1,000 pounds more, and it's faster because you don't have to transfer it, but you can't get it into a lot of locations. So, all right, well, I hope you enjoyed all of that. Now, me and trucks, there's a history with me and trucks. I love trucks. I've had trucks my entire life. I've owned a bunch of cars, but trucks, I've always loved trucks. Now, you may have seen in some of my other videos, the sign, put that up over here, in the background here, the Garner Tree Services sign. That was a business that my wife and I started shortly after we got married, doing tree work. And we grew it pretty good. We had a whole bunch of guys working for us. We had 3 crews going on. Trucks, I was in heaven. Trucks and trailers and equipment, I love all that stuff. And so we had all of that stuff. And so I did about 20 years in the arboriculture field, and about 12 of those I was a certified arborist. But I started getting a little bit long in the tooth, and climbing and doing all that was a bit much for me, and having all the employees was too much, and so I decided to do something else. So being a commercial driver for so many years, I decided that, you know what, I can get a dump truck. Let's try this out. And I had the friend that had one, and I drove for him for a short period of time, and then I went and got the job working for the company that owned Sunshine. And I drove for them for a couple of years, and then I went back to my friend who I had originally worked for and bought patches. It started my own business again. It's hard going from being self-employed to being an employee. It's really tough. And I decided to go back to working for myself because I'm happiest that way. It's satisfying to me. So there we are. I have tons of pictures of the tree service and all that stuff, and it's a part of our past. It's a bittersweet kind of deal for us. We did learn a lot about ourselves, my wife and I both. But anyways, that's done and over with. It's all about the dump truck now. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to me. And thanks for having the patience. Man, you know, waiting on this engine to come back from the machine shop, I'm just kind of, you know, what am I going to do now, you know? So, I also worked on a chicken coop. I've been building that. So here, let me put that in real quick. Yeah, so we're building a chicken coop and a chicken yard for my kids' chickens, for Bean, for his chickens. So that should be done. So I'm not sitting still. I'm getting stuff done. But man, I can't wait till this engine gets back. So anyways, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Share, comment, like, whatever. I know this is a bit of an oddball, but you know, whatever. Here we are. It is what it is. So in the meantime, everybody, until I see you next time, stay safe. Thanks for watching.